Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit today about women you might be dating that don't know how to maintain their composure. This perhaps could be applicable for women out there that are with a man that don't know how to maintain their composure, but I'm just speaking strictly from my experiences, my observations, and this is obviously completely my opinion. As I said, it's more advice aimed at young men or any man out there that might be listening to this that maybe is dealing with a situation like this right now or has been through a situation like this. But you know, the things that I've seen and experienced in my lifetime, I've been around some women that egregiously just went so far out to the fringe of what I consider to be acceptable behavior when I'm either in a public place or within an earshot of neighbors or friends or family. And this has happened to me a couple times, and it shaped my opinion and is why I formulated the advice that I'm about to give you. But when you're with a woman that doesn't care about making a scene in public, she's loud, she has no problem yelling, swearing, making a scene, making a fool of herself, making a mockery of your relationship, making a mockery of you. Any of these sorts of things in my mind falls into the category of a person that doesn't know how to maintain their composure. And what that means is, there's a place and time for everything. I mean, if you're going to have an argument or you're pissed off or upset about something, in my opinion, you should be doing that behind closed doors with your partner. And somebody that chooses or doesn't have the personal self-control and chooses to do these sorts of behaviors within eyeshot and earshot of other people that maybe you care about as a person, or even just being in public. I mean, I think, from a general sense, like, I certainly care to come across as a person that is living a peaceful, happy life, and I don't even complete strangers, like, I don't care to have them see me with some crazy woman that's just yelling and making a scene and just going crazy and has no problem doing that in front of anybody and just doesn't care, because in my mind that is a gross form of disrespect, like, not only to me personally in my image, but also it disrespects the relationship and the foundation of trust that I think you should have with somebody. This sort of behavior is just completely unacceptable in my mind, and it goes so far over the line, in my opinion. I've dealt with this in the past. I think a lot of us as men, you give these women a hall pass, let's say, because of any number of reasons. I mean, you really like the way she looks, or you like something about her, you like something she does for you, and you kind of excuse this bad behavior for a period of time. But it's embarrassing to be around somebody like this, and if you've been in a situation like this before, and maybe you feel a little bit the same as I do, I know that you know exactly what I'm talking about, and it's a dynamic that at this point in my life I have like a zero tolerance for, and I will not put up with that anymore. And I want to remind you guys that anybody you involve yourselves with, be it even just a friend or even family members of yours, or anybody that is seen around you and in your presence, or even, you might not even be there, but they're in the presence of other people, and just by virtue of the fact that you're associated with somebody else, I mean, they represent you at every waking second, right? And if you're the type of person that you've got your stuff together and you know how to maintain your composure, and you want to come across as a good, honest, genuine person that's got their stuff together, whatever you want to say. As I said, their behavior is certainly, like I said, it does circle back to you, and they're representing you when they do what they do. And this is the biggest problem, that I see with these types of people that I've been involved with. And I just got to the point, in the last situation that I was at, where, once again, I had just had enough, and I had snapped one day when this person was just getting like way out of line in public, drank too much and was just acting like a complete fool and making me look bad. And I was just trying to break it down and be honest about things, but I was just like, and this might kind of sound like a dickhead thing to say to somebody, but I'm like, if you want to be seen with me, if you want to roll with me, like, you've got to like step your game up, and you have to be able to maintain your composure. Like, I do not want to be around somebody or be seen in public with somebody that comes across like a complete nut job and is doing this sorts of behavior. And that's my standard. Like, if you want to roll with me, like, you've got to live up to that standard. If you can't do that, then we've got no business associating with one another, because, as I said, you represent me with every single thing that you say, every single thing that you do. That shines back on me, and I refuse to be with somebody that doesn't understand this and doesn't get that. And like I said, I think until you've been through a situation like this, you've lived through this, you've been with a woman like this, or like I said, even for the girls that have been around guys that can do the same type of stuff, like, you just don't know the way that it feels until you've been through it, maybe, let's say. And I'm just trying to maybe forewarn you or give you some advice, but I want to affirm in your minds, if there's any doubt, I mean, this should be, if you're a high value man and you're a person of integrity and you got your stuff together, this should be a requirement that you seek or ask or demand, let's say, out of somebody that you're going to be romantically involved with in a relationship, specifically, let's say. That's just, in my opinion, that's just the way it is. And that might sound harsh, that might sound any number of things, and like, at this point in my life, like, I don't care. That's important to me. It's something that I'm looking for. And like I said, I just want to leave off and just stress to you guys that, if you're the same type of caliber of person of what I've just described, the person of integrity, the person that holds themselves to a high standard, the person that's on their best behavior most of the time, certainly when you're in public, like, you need to have somebody that can do that as well and that can live up to that standard. I mean, you need to have a good first lady, let's say, right? You're the president, this is your first lady. She has got to fit into this sort of personality type, if you're that type of man or woman, and this is something that you value, which I think you should. I think it's important. So, like I said, I just want to leave you with the fact that if you're with somebody like this, that might be a red flag enough that you should probably move on from this one. If you're with somebody that you've asked repeatedly to, watch your behavior, watch your mouth, watch your tongue, and if they can't do that, I think that's grounds for moving on and finding somebody else that can. All right, guys. Hope that makes sense. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We'll talk again soon.